but just the Fonzies forever.
The Fonz had his own color forms.
Yeah, he did, and I owned them. I owned every, man, I love the Fonz. I was around when it was still new. Like, the Happy Days was like new episode tonight.
Tonight on an all new, and you know what the great thing about it? Tom Bosley.
Yeah, Father Dowling.
You want to talk about TV dads? Tom Bosley. You know why Tom Bosley was the shit? Not only was he Father Dowling, and he
didn't want to get involved. He didn't want to get involved in anything. He was just like,
Marion. But he was the voice in the cartoon Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. And he was David the Gnome.
He was.
That show ended on such a sad note.
We've discussed it before, I think.
We have. I mean, just damn. But Tom Bosley. Was there ever did Father Downing ever crossover with anybody, like Murder, She Wrote or anything? I mean,
I thought that the Father Dowling Mysteries did cross over with one of those shows. Maybe Matlock or Murder, She Wrote.
Might have been. I know Diagnosis Murder crossed over with Matlock.
Hold on, I'll ask Google real quick.
Ask the Google.
Let's see.
Ask Crystal.
Right.
Maybe Crystal knows. But no, I remember watching the Matlock.
Did Father Dowling cross over with other TV shows? Let's see. Let's see what it says to that.
Your local Father Dowling is 5.3 miles out.
Father Dowling is 3 miles away from you.
He is? Holy shit.
Let's see. It says... I'm trying to find episodes.
Thanks for going to prom with me, Mom. I love you.
After its first season, NBC canceled the show. It was picked up by ABC and aired for 2 more seasons. In total, Father Dowling Mysteries comprises a 2-hour TV movie plus 43 one-hour episodes. So I guess not.
See, that was back in the day where these shows like Columbo and stuff, they weren't like 30-minute episodes. These were like movies. These were like mini movies on your TV, man.
Yeah, this is, let's see, cancellation, DVD releases. They actually released it on DVD.
Oh, they did? Oh, I gotta get that shit.
You can buy the Father Dowling Mysteries. It doesn't say anything about crossover episodes. It switched networks like after the first season, so that probably...
You think about it today, though. If those shows were on today, we would have had 50 crossovers and a musical episode by now.
Well,
what did I see today? They're talking about, could a Supergirl Riverdale crossover be happening? Why the fuck would Supergirl be on fucking Riverdale?
Well, why would the Punisher meet Archie though? So I don't know. I guess you could do that.
But think about it. What if Kolchak the Night Stalker crossed over with Columbo?
Well, you know it's amazing you say that because every Sunday night on MeTV they run Columbo back to back with Kolchak.
Kolchak is so good. Now they, like I said, they just need Kojak. They need
some Kojak is on there too.
Oh, they got some Telly Savalas?
I believe it's on it at some odd time that I never see it, but it's.
Dude,
I think it's on there.
Telly Savalas was a smooth operator, man. With him in his lollipop. Who loves you, baby?
That's what he's known for. That phrase. He's in a lot of other shit. He's known for that. He was a Bond villain.
Well, we talked last week about that the Alice in Wonderland musical. He was in that. He was the Cheshire Cat.
he was Blofeld at one time.
And before he disappeared, he went, meow, baby. He was Blofeld. Well, let's see. He was Blofeld. Wasn't Jack Palance? No, not Jack Palance.
Donald Pleasance.
Donald Pleasance. That's right.
Yeah.
Donald
Pleasance and Telly Savalas, I believe, are 2 versions of Blofeld.
Let me tell you, Mr. Bond, don't mess with Michael. Michael is a very disturbed little boy. Michael stabbed his sister on Halloween night. Okay, so, I've been...
we should also mention that Toby Hooper
I was about to get to that.
I was always confused about how you say his name. Is it Tobe or Toby?
Tobe Hooper, the genius behind the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the,
Poltergeist, yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the other big one at the end.
76 years old, I believe it was, 76. I mean, that's another one, man. I mean, last week we talked about Jerry Lewis passing. Now we got, Hooper and Texas Chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw, man, Yeah.
So he's made an iconic movie, but I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre to me is the masterpiece of his whole career.
Oh, definitely.
So it still holds up as probably one of the most terrifying movies.
When the guy's in the
watch.
kitchen and Leatherface just comes up from behind him and just bashes him with the meat hammer.
Yeah, when just the way the whole movie looks, it's that grainy old film, and it's real 70s, and it looks like a psychopath filmed a bunch of murders, pretty much the whole movie, and you don't even really there's like people have said, I mean it's cliche at this point, but I mean people have said there's not really any gore in it. It's like what you don't see in that movie that's the scary thing, but then that's true. Like you don't really see. You see maybe, like, I think there's maybe 2 on-screen kills, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But you don't see a lot of it. You don't, like, he guts Franklin with a chainsaw, and you don't really see any of that. You just kind of hear it and kind of know what's going on. But it's a pretty horrific, realistic type fucking horror movie from the 70s.
Well, and you think about it, like, the influence that movie had. I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie, which I've always said, I think House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, I love those movies.
Those are directly inspired.
I mean, creepy old family in a fucking farmhouse, psychotic. It goes a little more mystical with Dr. Satan. But, But
I still don't understand that plotline. I don't know where they were going with that.
It made sense in freaking the Haunted World of El Super Beefsto. I love that movie. The Haunted World.
I never watched all of it. I watched it for a while. I was like, I don't know if I like this one.
Oh, dude, I love the Haunted World of El Super Beefsto. That shit's fucking nuts. But no, Texas Chainsaw definitely. I mean, I love that film. I remember people had never seen it. I was in the Marine Corps and people had never seen it, and I had like at the time like the super special edition DVD, like 4-disc set. I'm like, oh, we're watching this motherfucker. You never seen it? Oh, we're watching this shit. We're watching Texas Chainsaw, man.
Yeah, a lot of people were writing Texas Chainsaw 2 was their favorite, and it's like, but it's not the same kind of like Texas Chainsaw 2 had a bigger budget,
yeah,
and it had bigger effects and stuff, and it was more gore, and it was a different kind of. It was in that 80s like crazy excess 80s horror style. Like a lot of the movies were like like Nightmare on Elm Street was getting, and Friday the 13th. It was in that kind of campy, more big budget. Like the original is truly terrifying. Like that shit can happen to you somewhere, and that's why the original to me is just cannot be beat. Like seriously, not just as just a great movie. Like not even just as a great horror movie. It's like I think that one it's on a level with something like and even above. But I mean, it's something like The Witch is on that level. Something that's just bare bones horror movie, and it's timeless. It'll be effective forever.
So check this out. A coworker told me about this, and I pulled it up because I had to talk about it. Did you ever see the show Eastbound and Down?
The Kenny Powers show.
Kenny Powers.
I saw the first season, part of the second one.
You know, Kenny Powers, number 55, but number 1 in your heart. So the guy Danny McBride, he was also recently in Alien Covenant.
Which I love, by the way. Another movie I thought
was a great movie. So he has gone to John Carpenter, and he has pitched an idea for the next Halloween movie. And basically, John Carpenter said it is so insane, it is amazing, it is fantastic. Apparently, from what I'm seeing, this is going to be Halloween 3. It's going to be Halloween 3. No immortal Michael Myers, no frickin' Cult of the Thorn shit. It's going to be like
Talk about confusing the shit out of your audience. That part 5 stuff that was going on, like with the 2 different versions and what the hell? I still don't quite understand it all.
Right. But so this is supposedly, from what I'm hearing through the grapevine, is it's supposed to take place right after Halloween 2. And there's no immortal Mike Myers. He's still.
They're gonna do a retro movie back.
Yeah.
Make it look like the 70s and shit?
Well, I don't know if it's going to look like the 70s, but I mean the story aspect will be right after Halloween 2. No Season of the Witch coming after that one. But Daniel...
You know what, when you really get to the bottom of Season of the Witch, though, that was actually a pretty good idea, because they thought they'd exhausted the Michael Myers thing, so they weren't planning on doing a fucking immortal guy. It was going to be an
anthology series.
It was going to be like anthology. It was going to be like a bunch of, like, the next one would have been something completely different, a werewolf story.
Like American Horror Story. Every season is a different thing.
Yeah, it was a really good idea. I think they should have let it off with a different concept, though. I think it would have been successful had they done like a traditional monster movie in that vein, instead of the mask thing.
Yeah. Still, I mean, for what it was, Halloween 3 was good. But then, everything that came after that, just fuck. I mean, Cult of the Thorn and
the Michael Myers shit later was terrible.
It's the same way with Jason. They tried to kill off Jason, and they're like, we got to bring back Jason. We can't have Corey Feldman.
Once they get a hit with an original, like Mike, I've always said my favorite Friday the 13th is Part 2, because it's crazy hillbilly cannibal baghead Jason that's running in the woods, and that one is pretty. I mean, the mask and all that shit's iconic, I guess, but and I even like Part 3 and 4. Okay, I mean, I think they're pretty good, but I mean, they should have stopped way earlier than they did.
Jason Takes Manhattan with the Muppets.
It just got ridiculous and stupid, and it became like a parody of itself and like a comedy. It wasn't like horror or even like an anti-hero type character. It was just lame.
Same way with like Friday the or Nightmare on Elm Street, where then it became like there were the Dream Demons and all this other thing.
Yeah, and Freddy, those one-liners got ridiculous too. I hated that, and I really still think that the first one of those is really the only good one. The first one still holds. If you watch the first one, kind of cheesy 80s effects aside, it still holds up pretty good as a good concept for a horror movie.
Now, Candyman. Oh,
I said
his name twice. I better not say it the third time. Or Beetlejuice. Hey, come on. Hey, Chief, come on. Spin. Say my name 3 times. Come on. We'll rock the show. Come on. You need me on this show. Come on. Hey.
Never. I'll never invite that onto myself.
Come on. We shop at the same store. Come on.
Never.
It looks like I'm next.
Yeah, what was up with that bullshit where they teased the Beetlejuice sequel?
I don't know. They teased.
Didn't Winona Ryder even say that it was going to happen, and then they didn't do it?
I don't know. She's too busy doing Stranger Things, and now we got It coming out. And I'm sorry, this Pennywise, I can't take him serious. I can't take Tim Curry seriously. This one, with the way he looks, I can't take him seriously. I don't understand. I
think everybody that touches that script or that property has no concept of what Pennywise the Clown is supposed to be in the book. Like they've totally run with this bullshit scary clown. I don't know if that's people have always thought this. Like I guess with the Tim Curry one, they were even doing that a little bit. But at least he looked more normal at points. Like he was just wearing a regular clown suit at some points. And but this new one they got a giant head, and it just looks like the typical scary clown mask that you'd see like you could order from like Fangoria
Killer
magazine.
Clowns from Mars.
And it's like that is not, and like the jump scare clown in the basement scene. It's like that's not what it is. And
a pop-tart jump scare.
It's a really high-minded concept, really. That book is so long and so detailed and involved. It's such a high. You have to have such like a high understanding, concept of what's going on that it's like some of it's just only something you could like. I think some of that's only what you could read in your head. It'd be so hard to do. Like the giant turtle and all that shit, that'd be so hard to do.
Well, it's like I've always said, like I enjoy Stephen King's The Stand, the miniseries The Stand. I liked that one. I thought they got a lot in there. Yeah, there's a lot more to it, but I thought they did a pretty good job.
That was like a lot of episodes, though. It was like a long miniseries.
That was a fucking long-ass miniseries. Which is why people are worried about The Dark Tower, because there's been so many reshoots now for The Dark Tower.
Well, what's the most disappointing is I've heard that they're going to try to they want to redo Pet Sematary. And I think out of all the Stephen King movies that have been made based on his books, that Pet Sematary is probably the closest one to the book. Of any of them. It's probably the one that got it the most right.
I know what you're thinking, Chief. You think you go up there, bury them, come back to life. They don't come back the same, Chief. Don't do it. I know what you're thinking.
I thought they did a really good job with that movie. I thought the movie got everything. And the only thing that they didn't really showcase a whole lot was the Wendigo that is in the book, and that was the only thing that I thought it was missing. There's even a part of that where something is chasing